Hey, Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Okay.
Why can it not be filed? Hold on a second, please. Why can't it be played? Okay, we're running.
Okay.
Good, okay. We call the meeting to order, please. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the provisions of the Senator Byron M. Bear Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, 10:4-6, by notice published in the Asbury Park Press on December 23rd, 2023, and by posting of the same on the Lakewood Township website and in the office of the municipal clerk, office of Lakewood Development Corporation, and upon the public bulletin board of Lakewood Municipal Building.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ray Coles. Debbie Fuentes.
Here.
Lee Gold.
Here.
Mike McNeil. Abraham Muller.
Here.
Ellie Rennick. Rabbi Weisberg.
Here.
Patrick Donnelly.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Deborah, can you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty
and justice
for
all.
Thank you. Motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 4th.
I'll make that motion.
Ruda, second.
Second.
Second, Deborah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. David, any old business?
Yes, Chairman, we have a few items of old business. So item number one is regarding the technology incentive grant, or I should say, technology business incentive program. So we ran low on funds for that program. That is by far our most popular program at this time. So we sent a letter to the UEZ authority per their protocol to give permission to reallocate funds within the FAP, the Financial Assistance Program 8 loan and grant program, to move $100,000 over from the Business Expansion Loan Level 1 to make available funds for the Small Business Technology Incentive Program. To date, there has been no participation in the Level 1 Business Expansion Level 1. We've had all of our participation in the Level 2. So we felt it was a prudent move to move those funds over for that purpose. Including today's, in your packet, there's a resolution for 5 more technology incentives. Including those, to date, we will have closed 91 grants, totaling $455,000 in grant funds awarded to our UEZ businesses. So that's quite an accomplishment, and of course, providing those tremendous benefits to our businesses. Item number 2 in old business is the UEZA had sent out a letter, and we provided it in your packets, which was regarding the emergency authorization. So back during the time of COVID, back in 21, when they reauthorized UEZ program, Governor Murphy signed a emergency order, and that allowed the UEZ to go ahead and do projects, send in project submissions to the state for approval without having our 5-year plan in place. They are now terminating that emergency approval, that emergency authorization, as of September 1st, where projects throughout the UEZ, throughout all the 32 zones, will not be able to submit projects to the state without having a 5-year plan in place. The good news is that Lakewood has submitted its 5-year plan to the state for review and hopefully for approval. We're actually the first one in the state to have submitted a 5-year plan for review. And based on my conversations with them, the indication will be that we'll have our 5-year plan approved, God willing, prior to this September 1st date. So we should not be affected by this announcement of that they will no longer accept project submissions as of September 1st. So, we're in a good position as Lakewood UEZ is. Next item of old business. Oh, before I continue, any questions from the board regarding any of these items?
Yeah. David?
Yes.
David, you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. I read the letter, and it seems from the letter that all our projects need to be submitted by September 1st to be included, to be considered. That's part of the 5-year plan, is to have all our projects for the next 5 years submitted in that 5-year plan. Did I read it correctly, or
No.
did I misunderstand it?
Yeah, that's not the accurate reading of it. The way it's read is that any projects for submission to the state, that, how should I put it, that we want to submit without having a 5-year plan in place, they'll still accept them through the end of August 31st, and they'll stop receiving them September 1st. If you have your 5-year plan in place, then you can continue to submit projects. They just have to meet the goals of the 5-year plan. And we were very exhaustive in our development of our plan to make sure to cover all the future endeavors that we'd like to undertake through UEZ projects. So once they accept our 5-year plan, we'll be able to continue submitting projects as we have been doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Just the letter is a little confusing. If you take a look at it, I suggest everyone take a look at it and see what it says, just make sure that we don't misunderstand it.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take another look. But in my conversations with the UZ Authority, they have been clear with me that that's how it's supposed to work. Once we get our 5-year plan accepted, we'll be able to continue submitting projects as we go. What is true is that all of the projects that we do submit from this point forward through the next 5 years have to conform to the goals stated in the 5-year plan. They don't have to all be submitted up front for the 5-year period commence. So if we want to do a streetscape and lighting project as an example, it had to have stated in the 5-year plan that one of the goals is improve infrastructure throughout the UEZ area. So then that would conform to the 5-year plan as an example.
Anyone else want to ask any questions about that before we move on to new business? Okay, any new business, David?
Well, actually, there's one more old business item, which is the board will recall that we submitted a project to the state a couple months ago, which was a seniors and displaced homemakers project that was supposed to work with some local organizations to help, once again, seniors displaced homemakers with training and obtaining jobs. However, the UEZA communicated to us that they consider this a social services project and that the Department of Labor has grant programs in place to assist seniors and displaced homemakers. So they rejected the project because they consider it social services. However, we have the ability to restructure the project. We probably would have to do it as a new project in the end. But we have a meeting set up this Thursday with business owners in the UEZ area that are in manufacturing and other industries that require special skill set training. And the idea is to create another project, subsidize the training and direct job placement after completion of training. And after my discussions with the UEZA, they said that that sounds like it would fit with the mission of the UEZA and would be an acceptable type of project. So we're going to meet with these businesses, get their input to put together the parameters that we feel would be a shoe-in UEZ project. That's what's taking place now, and that's what happened regarding that project.
My question, I'd like to ask you a question. Who are these people that are going to meet with them? You know, what are their backgrounds? What are their skills in that area? Because as I indicated, since I've been on the UEZ, that was one of my main concerns is jobs, getting jobs for the entire community. And it's always been my concerns throughout, you know, my life career. So I'm just curious on who are these people and what jobs are we looking at in the industrial park? I have a lot of questions on that.
So we contacted some business owners in the industrial park area that have manufacturing companies. They produce different types of products that require handling machines and other type of skilled labor requirements, and they're very motivated to have this discussion with us because they have a significant need in training employees, and a lot of resources go into doing that, a lot of cost, a lot of time and resource. And then, of course, they also risk the possibility of losing that employee after they do all that training. So if we can put together a project like this, which will help subsidize the training, or perhaps even give some type of a stipend for the employee for a certain period of time as they are brought on, that will ensure that the employee will remain there for X period of time and meet their need.
Yeah, David, as I said earlier, and I mean earlier in the years, that, you know, part of the training and stuff, you know, when they're looking for subsidized, that, you know, Department of Labor did a lot of that subsidies. I mean, like the contracts and stuff that I wrote up, you know, for millions of dollars for companies, they normally do it for about 6 months if it hasn't changed.
Right.
You know, and that's something that we have to look at. My thing is that, you know, I don't normally say anything or quiet and let the speak ever, but I made it very clear about when it comes to training and about jobs, I'm concerned because I understand, you know, what it means. We did a survey about 10 to 15 years ago, and we asked 3 important questions, and we got a lot of different, and then we say, give us the 3 most important questions in the community. And this was based on, in my part of the community. One was jobs, housing, and education. And I said to someone, wouldn't education be first? And you know what they said to me? The person, he said, no, Mike. He said, most people here are in a survival mode. And I said, you know, I really didn't look at it in that sense. So what I'm trying to say to you is that this is still important to me. It's important not just to me, but people, you know, in my part of the community. And also it's very important to the NAACP because that was something that we focus on. We could never understand. We had the 2nd largest industrial park in the country, in this New Jersey, that we had problems getting employment people and stuff like that. That was my reason for getting involved. That was my reason for always talking about training and stuff like that. But if you don't send the right people to have these discussions, what kind of training could somebody talk about for me if I'm an NC operator? Or, you know, I want to build fiber optics, or I want to, you know, work where they build the slot machines at, you know, all of these type of skills. I mean, like, I'm just curious on who's doing the talking.
Mike, you're on that email. You're invited. You need to come to that meeting on Thursday.
No, I think I've had enough. Because I made it very clear how I felt about certain things, you know, when it came to training and things that I had to do, especially in my part of the community of getting jobs and getting housing. That was important to me. You cannot get housing without jobs. I'm quite sure everybody knows that. And one of the reasons that, you know, we stuck together, a lot of us in this town, to make sure that people, you know, got jobs, you know, and so that they were able to pay their rents and things like that. But I just don't understand, you know, this this project? Just
Well-
truly don't understand.
Well, as it relates to seniors and displaced homemakers, unfortunately, the UEZ authority were pretty adamant in their position that it does not it does not fit into the UEZ mission. So that's why we're
Okay,
looking
understand
to change the project to from the perspective of the business owner rather than from the job seeker. And
Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense to find out, as you said earlier.
yeah,
you know,
and this
what are
meeting
some
on
of the skills?
Thursday to put these people together, and you're included, and we need you there, Mike,
But
for this
my
discussion.
question is that, are we looking at a few companies, or we're looking at all the companies, or do we understand the skill levels that are needed in the companies that are not even there?
Well, that's going to be part of the discussion. It's a fact-finding meeting to get together and figure out what the parameters for the project is going to be. We have about five business owners that are going to participate in that.
How many we got?
Five business owners.
I tell you what, then
It's an initial meeting.
I got to talk to some of those folks that are out there.
Well, yeah, we need you there. We need you there, Mike.
I mean, like, this ain't the conversation I had with some people of what the skill levels that were needed. We didn't have them. We just don't have them.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, let's continue offline because I want to talk to you about Thursday anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. I love it, and I appreciate your passion also, Mike. Okay, so that's old business, Chairman.
Yes, you want to continue into new business, please?
Yeah, okay, new business. So in your packets, and when I get to the director's report, I'll just do a brief overview of all the resolution packet. But you have a resolution in your packet that we submitted to the board regarding a co-op advertising grant program. Now, many members on the board were around when we had the co-op advertising grant program a number of years ago. It was the most popular program, which predated my time, and we are looking to start it up again. It's a matching grant program, which would potentially give a business up to $20,000. It's broken up into $5,000 tranches of funds. The first period would be a trial period where the business would give us their past 12 months, I believe it is 12 months of sales activity and walk-in sales activity to their business. And then they would apply $5,000 towards advertising. We would match them that $5,000. And then if they're able to meet a certain benchmark of 10% increase in their sales, determined by the number of receipts that they are generating, then they'll qualify for a second tranche. So they have to meet certain benchmarks in order to qualify for further tranches of funds up to $20,000. We've earmarked $500,000 to this project. If it's very popular, and which we anticipate that it will be, we could always go back to the state for a second round of funding is in the form of a second project. So that is what we're looking to do. That's the new business item.
Can I just ask a quick question on that?
Yeah.
A lot of times when people advertise, they don't just advertise to gain new business, but they also advertise just to remain present. So a new business that's, let's say, starting out, and I get it, they may have 200, 300, 400 clients, whatever it may be, some less, some more, and they are, if they don't spend that money on advertisement, then they'll become absolute, even if they're not growing.
I would just like to pipe in that.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend that we table this. Yehuda just mentioned, a bunch of points that are very relevant. I think that this particular project was envisioned behind the desk, and I think we need to get a subcommittee together of people that are knowledgeable about advertising and businesses, and which businesses are, more prone to benefit for this, and which businesses are not. And it's extremely arbitrary who's going to fit into this this first tranche, if you will, of funding. So I'm recommending if there's a way to get the resolution into the UEZA that would be very general, I'm okay with that, but not with the specifics. And I think a subcommittee should be pulled together. And I'll just throw out a couple of names of people that their feet are on the ground, and I think can contribute this. And of course, all the members of the board are also more than welcome, to join this. I would suggest to have the chairman, Abe Muller, who's been running a business for tens and tens of years. I suggest, Moshe Bender, who's been out there talking to businesses one after the other. I suggest people like Benny Heineman or maybe Berkowitz from The Voice, who deal with advertisers and see what their challenges are, see what their budgets are, and can give input what would be an effective advertising campaign and how we can boost that up. And of course, I would recommend Alex Lowinger and Chaim Rolowitz to this, who just spent a long time canvassing many of the businesses in town. So the bottom line is I would pull this resolution the way it is right now, and through the chair, empower a subcommittee to look at this in more detail. I don't think it has to be delayed more than a month or two at the most to get really the best product out there, because we've had some great successes. David mentioned the technology grant, which has been a home run. And, we've also had a few where we fell flat, that we didn't have any customers for the programs that we dreamt up. And I think it's really important with a program like this that potentially could assist a lot of businesses, and to just arbitrarily cut it off without, really giving this a full conversation and review, I think it's premature.
Chairman, I guess you want to address
It
it?
sounds very good. I think we'll work on that once the meeting's over.
Thank you.
Okay, so through the chair, I guess we'll table this item. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about it and we discussed it, and we'll table the resolution for now, I guess, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Do we need a motion to table it?
Sorry?
No, I said, do we need a motion to table it?
I don't think so. I think as chairman,
Yeah, there should be Chairman, there should be a motion on that, please. It's Sean Keith.
Okay. So can we do it once we go into the voting thing?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue on. Sean, do you have anything for corporate counsel besides closed session?
Just closed session, thank you.
Okay, so Director, continue with Director's report, please.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. So we'll start with the financial status report. This is the quarter meeting, so I'll just briefly go over the numbers, read it into the record. So as far as obligated, well, shall I say, we have total funds through second generation of $7,554,385.94. Total obligated loan funds and project funds is $6,787,846.38. Total funds available for loans and projects is $766,539.56. Total number of active loans year to date is 70. We have 2 loans in default that have filed judgments. We have 2 loans that are currently not performing. Of course, we're always in the process of working on our collections process and trying to stay in touch with these borrowers to get repayment of loan. We have 8 loans paid off year to date. We have 6 new loans year to date, and total loan balances year to date of $1,984,749.32. We have interest earned year to date from CDs and money market investments is $73,453.81. Interest earned year to date from the loan programs is $11,021.06, totaling income to the Lakewood Development Corporation of $84,474.87. Okay, and including our allocations, cumulative allocations from new monies since the revamping of the UEZ program, we have a total of $8,346,596, and total UEZ funds, including new monies and second gen funds, of $9,113,108.56. Okay, so that covers the financial status report. Tomorrow is the UEZ Authority meeting, and we have on the agenda our business directory outreach and marketing project, that $90,000 project that the board passed last meeting, and hopefully everything will go smoothly, swimmingly, and we should have that approved at the state level. Then we can soon thereafter start moving on that project. We had our first, as we mentioned to the board last time, we started a new initiative. Part of our business development initiative is to host brief presentations highlighting the benefits of the UEZ program to businesses throughout the office buildings throughout town in the UEZ, of course, in the UEZ zone. So back on June 17th, we had our first Lakewood UEZ office building presentation. We had Joe Fusco, who is the deputy director of the UEZ Authority, in attendance. Very gracious of him to join us. Also, Menashe Miller stopped in, which was very nice. And in attendance was about 20 plus minus businesses at the presentation. And of course, the goal of these office building presentation is
they want you back already.
What's that? They want us back already, right? Oh, I'm sorry. And our fellow board member Yehuda Gold was there as well. I'm sorry, and sorry to mention that. Okay, forgot to mention that. Thank you, Yehuda, for being there as well. Now, the goal of these presentations is to develop awareness, education, and also registration. We, of course, want to register as many qualified businesses as possible. And we are in the process of ramping up to present at least one presentation per building per week. And we put posters in the lobby. We have a special double-sided adhesive that we put on the window. Very professional, looks great. We have had very good feedback from our first presentation. Yehuda, while I put you on the spot, you want to say any other type of feedback you heard about the presentation?
Sure. In fact, every day when I can't say I go to Mincha there every day, but when I do go, the first question I usually get when I walk in the room is, when is Moshe Bender coming? So there's definitely a lot of people that are, and these are businesses that were all here and almost had no idea that the UEZ even existed, and now they're asking about it almost every day. So it was a really good program, and I'm sure other businesses in town would want it as well.
All right, thank you, Yehuda. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's going to be very successful as we continue the effort. Also in your packets, we included an article from Asbury Park Press by a journalist named Joe Strupp. Many of you are familiar with his name. He had interviewed myself, Ray Coles, and Mayor Coles, I should say, and some business owners throughout town. And he essentially highlighted a lot of the benefits of the program and some potential projects that we're looking to do going into the future. So once again, you have that included in your packet, and hope you get a chance to look at it. And let me just briefly review the resolutions that you have in the packet, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Chairman. So the first resolution in the packet is 24-7-1, which is authorizing a new UEZ. Oh, we're going to table that. So, all right, after my review, okay, we'll skip that one. That one's going to be tabled. Resolution number 2 is authorizing the closing and transfer of bank accounts for the purchase of maneuvering funds for the transactions that the LDC is looking to due shortly. And I know that our corporate counsel will address that in closed session. We have a resolution number 3, which is also closing and transferring funds for the purpose of those transactions. We have resolution 4, closing CDs for the purpose of those transactions. Resolution 5 is awarding business technology incentives. So this is 5 more technology incentives by businesses totaling $25,000. Resolution 6 is awarding a microloan to COVID Hats LLC in the amount of $50,000. And the final resolution number 7 is awarding a microloan to Smooth Me Now LLC for $25,000. And Chairman, that covers the director's report.
Any committee reports? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. BDO activities, everybody been?
Yeah, so we have Moshe Bender, our business development officer, of course, with us today as usual. And Moshe, can you go ahead and give the BDO activity and stats report?
Yes, thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. So there's a lot to follow up on just on some of the comments that were made during this meeting. But just to start off briefly, as you're all aware, I am focusing a lot on outreach. As David just mentioned, we went to the office building where Yehuda works. I've already gone back once. I'm probably going to be going back there at least weekly for the time being because of the feedback that I'm getting from businesses, the help that they need. Although for the most part, when a business applies, it's a very simple process, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and everything is set to go. For some reason or another, there are some glitches that happen in the system, and sometimes it's a very minor. A business needs to have their hand held or contact the state, whatever it may be. So, I'm going to be following up to meet businesses that either didn't have an opportunity to meet myself or David when we had the initial meeting, and from the other times that I was there. And then obviously the ones that are already active in their application to try to hold their hand to get to the finish line. One of the positive vibes or positive indications of our progress is that although the primary focus of what I'm doing is going to businesses and sending emails and contacts and bumping into people that tell me they have a business and following up with them, is that now I am receiving calls from businesses that either I never knew existed, I had no idea who they were, but they're busy getting my contact or our contact through either other businesses that I've reached out to, and they're like, hey, this guy Moshe Bender from the UEZ came, here's his number. So that's an indication that our efforts are not just being fruitful in the direct work that we're doing, but it's triggering a broader outreach, a broader welcoming to businesses across the community that don't know we exist. Just to mention on I'm not sure if it was Yehuda or David that said that many businesses don't know we exist. This morning, I was speaking to a CFO of a very, very large, successful retail company that's based out of New York, opened up in Lakewood 3 years ago. It took me a month to get him. I've been calling him, emailing him, speaking to the secretaries. Finally, he reached out to me yesterday, and then this morning we had our chat, and he's like, how long are you around for? I said, we're around for over 30 years. He says, really? He says, I'm here for 3 years. How come I didn't hear about this program? Because they are a very large retail business in the UEZ zone, and he was like shocked that he didn't know about it. So that kind of goes to show that although the UEZ has been around for decades, the need for outreach is so critical, because such a large company that could benefit in a very large way didn't know that we exist and was shocked to hear that we were around for more than 3 years. I'm proud to also report that for 4 weeks in a row, the Lakewood UEZ had the highest certifications, a higher amount of new applications across the state from all the 32 zones. We came in number 1 4 weeks in a row, and I hope we can keep that trend going forever. Regarding one of the comments that Mike said earlier, one of the things that I'm also doing when I reach out to businesses is asking them what they need, and obviously asking them if they have any open job opportunities. Just last week, we placed somebody in a job, someone who's looking for a job for some time, in a business that's in the UEZ zone on Route 88. We placed him in that job position. Prior to my being hired by the UEZ, I placed people from the immigrant community that were looking for jobs. One particular individual, we placed him in Gladby, another individual in Sprinkles. But one of the things that I am doing, and I have been doing prior, as Mike and many of you are aware, is helping people, find jobs and businesses look for applicants. So I am doing that and will continue to do that, and something that we're focusing on. And obviously, whatever we hear in our meeting on Thursday, and whatever comments we get from any other companies, obviously we're going to take that into consideration to address that, to try to make the most of it. And obviously, it's also, as you mentioned, it's a big economic boost when companies are able to have employees that they desperately need. So that is something that we are focusing on, and we hope to continue focusing on. I know I'm about to hit my 3-minute line, but 2 other quick comments. We just discussed about the advertising grant. That's something that I got feedback about. It seems like many companies, especially the startups that are busy counting their pennies, it would be a huge boon for their business to be able to have some help advertising. That the advertising industry is a major industry. It's because when you advertise, there's a direct response to investing in advertising, but new businesses are limited on those funds. And one other quick comment that I think came up was, it didn't come up in this meeting, but I am hearing from many startup businesses where they're just working out of their houses. They don't have the funds to rent an office in a regular building for $500 a month because they're simply counting their pennies to start the business off. So I am getting a lot of comments and interest to see if there's a way to, I don't know, I know we've tried the incubator in the past, but to figure out some kind of system where you could arrange for a reduced or cheaper rent for people who literally need a desk to be able to have a tiny little cubicle, so to say, where they can work out of. Again, I know the incubator model didn't work, but I'm just throwing out there that I am getting a lot of feedback from people who can't take their business to the next level. They can't even register in the UEZ because they can't afford to pay that $500 a month, to rent a little office space in a UEZ zone. So that's just a little synopsis of what's been going on over the last couple of months, but particularly in the last week, the most recent report.
Mr. Chairman, through the chair, heard all of that. I think that's great stuff. Really, really great stuff, especially the part where a lot of the small business people that are working out of their homes and stuff like that can't get started. So definitely would like to see that. But one of the things I definitely like to see, there's a gentleman that's on here, Rabbi Weisberg. I remember way back in the day where, he did a lot of this stuff. I guess he had Ada Gonzalez, where they were, meeting with the companies and finding out what, all the activities that were going on in the companies. It might be a good idea, and I'm quite sure maybe you did or did not, but have that conversation with Rabbi Weisberg, and maybe he can open up some of the doors, or Ada Gonzalez can, have some data on some of the stuff that they did in the past. And I can tell you for a fact, they did some really, really good stuff. And the reason why I know they did good stuff, because I was sent here to take a look at some things and get involved. And they made sure that I understood where Ms. Gonzalez, it took me around to, a lot of the companies, and I didn't realize that we had such high-tech stuff in Lakewood. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. We just all got to work together and make it happen for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Through the chair, quick thing. Moshe, could you very quickly run over the numbers? Do you have the numbers with you?
Sure.
New registrations?
There's plenty of numbers. Which ones do you want?
Yeah, the ones we reviewed together, the business basis, new registrations, net new businesses.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I put together a spreadsheet where every single week we try to I do go ahead and document all the businesses that I contacted. Obviously, my primary focus is new businesses that are not yet registered, and then to introduce it to them and then follow up with them. Since the start of when I started out on May 10th, so we had registered at the time 646 businesses that were registered in the UEZ. Currently, we have 673. Now, that number sounds like a low number. However, The reason why the current registered businesses is so low, even though we've had 41 new businesses, is because unfortunately, many businesses, for reasons that we try to identify, have become inactive. Now, inactive could be because the business simply shut down, and inactive could be because there's a taxation issue. Inactive could be because the company decided that, you know, they don't have much from it and it's not worth it for them to have to do the paperwork. So we are definitely making a lot of progress with 41 new businesses registered. The inactive part, to a certain extent, we're very limited. We do outreach to let them know that you're about to go inactive and to try to see if there's something we can do to help. But like I said, it's not in our control to force anybody to stay within the UEZ membership. But like I said, for 4 weeks in a row, we were at the top of the state. Since May 10th, the numbers, I ran all the numbers since day one. We got over here. So out of the 9 weeks, 7 out of 9, we were leading. There were only 2 weeks that we did not come in #1 in the state. So again, obviously, we don't want to pat ourselves on the shoulder based on everyone else, but it's certainly an indication that we're doing something right. And we only want to, build on top of that to try to canvass every single business within the UEZ and Lakewood to go higher than that. But that's just a short synopsis of the numbers. David, was there any other kind of numbers that you wanted me to?
No, I think he covered it. The new registrations, the net new businesses. Good job. Thank you, Moshe.
Thank you, Moshe Bender. We appreciate it. Sounds like you're really out there and things are happening. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Is there any requests for public comment? Do we have anyone on the online that's requesting comment? Any emails that came in?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to comments by trustees. Any trustees would like to say anything about anything we spoke about or anything else?
Yeah, I would. Still talking. Some of the stuff I heard, as I said earlier, I think that it's great. I just, wish that, we get more companies come in. I think I heard him say we had 45 more new companies come in. That's really good. That's good stuff. That's how towns grow. And, the towns depend on that. A lot of the organizations depend on that. So I wanted to say that, job well done in that area. Well done.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Sorry, I was having a computer issue. Okay. The only comment I have as in the chairman's comments is that we hopefully will not have a meeting in August. Everyone deserves a good vacation, and August is a good opportunity for that. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just having. Give me 1 second, please. Being that we do our meetings on Zoom, if there is something that's we have an emergency or something that's necessary, we will give it our delegates ample time, and we can always convene an emergency Zoom meeting if needed. But right now, there's nothing pressing that's on the agenda, so we hopefully will not have a meeting in August. We're going to move to the consent agenda. It's a non-consent agenda with no consent agenda items. Each item is going to be voted on individually. The first resolution is going to be, we're going to actually vote to table that resolution. Could that be done by consensus, Sean, or do we have to roll call it?
We can do that by consent, Chairman.
Okay, so a resolution to table resolution 24-7-1.
I'll second it.
You'll second it, Yehuda? I'll
Mike
first
first.
it. All in favor?
Aye.
Guess resolution passes. Okay, motion to approve resolution 24-7-2, which is closing the bank account for the Fulton Bank to purchase real estate.
I'll make that motion.
Rabbi Weisberg, second.
Yehuda second.
Yehuda, second. Roll call, please.
Deborah Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Motion to move 24-7-3, which is again closing a TD Bank account again to add UEZ parking for the downtown. Anyone would like to
Make that
move it?
motion.
Go.
Second it, dude.
The second was Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Debbie Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. A motion for 24-7-4, which is again closing some CDs for the parking area project.
I'll
Anyone?
make that motion.
Motion.
Yuda, second. Deborah, second. Roll call, please.
Debbie Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly.
Yes.
I didn't hear him. Well, we do have a motion at any point.
Okay. Thank you. Motion for 24-7-5, which is for 5 business technology incentive grants at $5,000 each. Anyone would like to move it?
Move.
Okay, that was the Mike, second Deborah. Roll call, please.
Debbie Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Motion for resolution 24-7-6, which is a micro loan amount of $50,000 to Culver Hats.
Moved.
Yuda,
Second. Second.
second, Rabbi Weisberg. Roll call, please.
Debbie Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. And a motion for 24-7-7, which is a micro loan to Smooth Me Now. Originally was 50,000, was modified to 25,000. Anyone move it?
Move.
Yuda, second. Second, Deborah.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Debbie Fuentes,
Yes.
Steve Gold,
Yes.
Mike McNeil,
Yes.
Abraham Muller,
Yes.
Rabbi Weisberg,
Yes.
Patrick Donnelly,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. And now a motion to move into closed session. We'll do it by consensus. Anyone second?
Second.
Yuda, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Chairman, for the purpose of.
Waiting, are we able to in the future make the motion to adjourn? So before we go into closed session? No?
We able to what? I'm
No,
sorry.
you have to come back out of executive and do it in the open session.
We're running.
Good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
Yuda, what did you want to say?
No, I just want to know if we could do all this all in the future and in the beginning, but then it's okay.
Okay, a motion to adjourn?
Yes, me.
Yuda, second.
Yes.
Second, Deborah, all in favor?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful summer, safe summer.
Stay safe, summer.
You too. Thank you, everybody. We went a little long, but thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Great job.
Thank you, thank you.